Between 2000 and 2020, the number of Indian citizens who moved to America in search of a better life grew from 3 million to over 7 million, and most of them found it. As of 2024, Indian nationals are the ethnic group with the highest education and average income in America. In fact, the average annual income of an Indian American household is just shy of $150,000. If you too are looking to turn over a new leaf by moving to America, there are a few things you'll need to do first. In this video, we will cover the most important things you need to do before moving to the US as an Indian citizen, including the various visa options available to Indian nationals, the best places in the US for Indian citizens to move, the different accommodation options as a US newcomer. But before we start, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the Non-Resident Investor channel. That way, you'll be the first to know when we publish new videos and will also help support the channel. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. US visas for Indians. The first and most important step when moving to the USA from India is securing a visa. That's why it's crucial to understand the different types of visas available and their pros and cons. Here are the 4 main types of visas Indian citizens can apply for. 1. Visitor visas. There are 2 main types of visitor visas for Indians, the B1 and B2 visas. The B1 visa allows for short-term business trips, like meetings and conferences, letting you stay for up to 6 months. The B2 visa is for tourism and recreational visits, also allowing stays of up to 6 months. Both visas have seen increased approval rates, now close to 70% since 2018. For both visas, you'll need to fill out the DS-160 form accurately and attend an interview at the U.S. consulate. However, the B1 and B2 are temporary visas, so they're not an option if you're planning to relocate to America. 2. Student visas. Every year, around 250,000 Indian students head to the U.S. for higher education using F1 or J1 visas. The F1 visa is for students accepted into U.S. colleges or universities for full-time study. Before applying, you need an acceptance letter from a U.S. institution and proof of financial resources to cover tuition and living expenses. The J1 visa is for exchange visitors participating in programs promoting cultural exchange, typically for students, researchers, and professors. Key requirements include securing sponsorship from an approved organization and proof of sufficient financial stability to cover living expenses while in the U.S. However, the J1 visa comes with an additional perk. The holders can buy property in the U.S., which is often a smarter choice than renting for the duration of their studies. Although the F1 and J1 visas aren't permanent, they are an excellent way to get our foot through the door and work toward permanent residence in the U.S. 3. Work visas. Work visas, or immigrant visas, include the H-1B, L-1, and O-1 visas. The H-1B visa allows skilled workers to live and work in the U.S. for up to 3 years, with the option to extend it by up to another 6 years. However, applicants need a job offer from a U.S. employer who will sponsor their visa. The L-1 visa is for intercompany transfers, enabling employees of multinational companies to work at a U.S. branch, subsidiary, or affiliate. It is available for managers, executives, and employees with specialized knowledge. The O-1 visa is for individuals with extraordinary ability or achievement in fields like arts, sciences, education, business, or athletics. This visa requires evidence of sustained national or international acclaim and is initially granted for up to 3 years, with extensions possible. If you are looking to relocate to America, securing a work visa is likely your best option. Although not easy to get, as you'll need to find a US-based employer first, it's one of the most reliable ways for Indian nationals to move to the States. 4. Family visas. Family visas come in 2 main types: immediate relative immigrant visas and family preference visas. Immediate relative visas are for spouses, parents, or unmarried children under 21 of U.S. citizens, offering the quickest path to the U.S. These visas aren't subject to annual numerical limits, making them a more straightforward option. Family preference visas are for more distant relatives of U.S. citizens and some specified relatives of lawful permanent residents. These visas are limited in number each year and categorized into several preference levels, with varying wait times based on the relationship and the applicant's country of origin. Although these visas are the only ones to immediately grant permanent residence in the U.S., you'll either need to marry a U.S. citizen or be their direct descendant to apply for one. For most Indians looking to migrate to America, these visas won't be easily accessible. Indian communities in the U.S. There are close to 5 million Indians in the U.S. today. The first of them arrived as early as the 17th century, contributing significantly to the country's development. Over the centuries, Indian communities have flourished, creating vibrant cultural hubs across the nation. If you want to enjoy a comforting sense of familiarity and support when relocating, consider moving to one of the following parts of the U.S. with thriving Indian communities. Feel free to pause the video so as not to miss any of the details. By choosing one of these cities, you'll become a part of a thriving community that can help you feel more at home in your new country. Which of the cities listed is your favorite? Where would you like to move in the U.S.? Let us know in the comments below. Finding accommodation in the U.S. What are your options? The last step towards settling in the U.S. from India is securing yourself accommodation. Whether you're moving permanently or temporarily, your two best options will be either to rent or buy a home. But before we talk about them, there's one essential thing we must mention: the costs of living. Moving from India to the U.S. means facing a significant increase in expenses. While a single person can live on $350 per month in India, the average monthly cost in the U.S. ranges from $2,500 to $4,000. That's why it's important to factor in these costs before making your move. If your visa allows it, working full or part-time can help manage these expenses. For instance, student visa holders can work up to 20 hours per week, while work visa holders must have a full-time job to stay in the country. Now, when it comes to accommodation, renting is often the easiest and quickest option. The U.S. has over 50 million residential rental units, so finding a place to rent shouldn't be too difficult. The average rent is around $1,500 per month, though this can vary based on location. Renting provides flexibility and can be a good short-term solution while you get settled. However, buying a home is a better long-term investment. Owning a home not only gives you a permanent place to live, but can also help in obtaining a green card. However, due to the significant price differences between the U.S. and India and higher costs of living, this may be more difficult to achieve. The average cost of a home in the U.S. is about $431,000, though prices can be lower in some areas. Even though this is a significant investment not many may be able to make, having your own home offers stability and a sense of belonging. Overall, it is a much better solution in the long run. If you do decide on buying over renting, our team at Nonresident Investor can help you. We help foreign nationals like you secure mortgage loans and buy property all across America. Get in touch with us to find your dream home today. Or, if you're wondering whether Indian citizens can even buy a house in America, check out our other video where we explore the entire process.